Hi there, happy Thursday. I'm Elizabeth and this is Thursday Thoughts. I am doing something a little different today. Usually I do a stream of consciousness Thursday Thoughts based on what's on my mind, but the other day I put down on paper some thoughts I've been having about something for a long time, and because I had so much to say, it just kind of spewed out of me. And I think sometimes I'm a better writer than I am a speaker. And because I feel really passionate about this subject, I wanted to share, I want to just outright read these thoughts to you guys. And I'll do my best to, make it as organic as possible. So bear with me. Hopefully it's not going to feel dry, but because there's so much that I didn't want to leave out, I thought it would be a really good idea just to read my thoughts to you. So I'm out here with Riggins, hey buddy, and Double, his pal. Riggins is my most advanced horse under saddle, so that's why I wanted to feature him in this video, because this Thursday Thoughts is about the expression finished horses. And let me tell you how I feel about them. Okay, here goes. I hate the expression finished horse. Hate is a very strong word, yes, but I am going to use it here. I hate it. I'm allergic to it. It bothers me deeply, and I wish it was eradicated from our collective vernacular in the equine industry. In dressage, you often hear similar expressions such as confirmed or leveled up. You may have heard these expressions when you are shopping for a horse or at horse shows across any discipline. This terminology is used by professionals and trainers to describe the level of training a horse has had. It suggests that the horse has all the buttons and cues trained into it that are commonly used in specialized disciplines. Why, you ask, is that so bad? Don't we want to know how well a horse has been trained or how much it knows? The entire premise of these questions bypasses a broader systemic problem with horse training and welfare. When we are asking how much a horse knows, there is the implication that a horse must be trained to do stuff for us. Specifically, that it must be trained to be ridden for us. Finishing a horse suggests that a horse must get to a point where it is obedient or submissive enough in the drills of a sport to execute a movement in a way that anyone can get on, poke a handful of buttons, and the horse will do them immediately for anyone. When we talk about finished horses, there's very little room for discussion about how a horse feels about what we are doing to them, other than the objections they had along the way that are now shut down. Insert gag emoji here. I can just go here since we don't need emojis on a video. By this standard, none of my horses are finished. Not that guy. He's not finished. I have not trained my horses to allow for anyone to get on and plug in code to get a certain outcome. There are actually very few people that I allow to get on my horses as it is, and if they do, I am there making sure that the human is not bypassing the feedback that my horses are giving for the rider. Now, my horses know a lot. They have many movements in their bodies that are advanced and spectacular, but they aren't finished, and they never will be. This is because riding is not about me. It is about me and the horse. Teaching a horse how to do movements is exactly when we require them. Teaching a horse how to do movements exactly when we require them to is not about us anymore. It's not about me and the horse. It would be about me. Riding is a conversation. It is not a dictatorship. It should be co-creational, and the horse should perform movements because they enjoy our suggestions and want to do the movements, not because I tell them they have to or fear of not doing them. My horses are great teachers and eager to show a trusted human on their backs the cool things they know when they ask them the right questions, but it is never a given or expected that they do a movement without asking questions or proposing objections. Okay, Elizabeth, what is it that trainers should be doing instead of finishing horses? How does an aspiring rider find a horse that is suitable for their experience level and safe for a person? The answer for the trainer may be another post altogether, because there's so much the trainers in this world need to change. So I will just focus on the question of the aspiring rider. My answer may not be satisfying for many, but hang with me because I believe there are solutions. But they require radically turning the horse industry on its head. My answer is in the form of a question back to the rider. That's pretty cute, right? A question, answering a question with a question. Why do you want to ride? Do you want the adrenaline rush of going over fences or cantering at the drop of a hat or spinning fast or doing flying changes and so on? Do you want to feel like you are dancing with the horse because he or she does what you are asking every time and because you have no opposition from the horse, therefore things seem effortless? If your answer to these questions is yes, then you should get a finished horse. But I will tell you some of the baggage that often comes with finished horses. Horses that are far away. They follow you wherever you go, sure, but they aren't really with you. Horses that are anticipating everything that you do. They are living in a state of chronic stress under saddle and can often have explosive behaviors that show up seemingly out of nowhere, only then to go back to the original trainer who will put him back in his or her place. In their later years, when their bodies start to fall apart, they have loads of physical pathologies that will cost thousands of dollars to fix or most likely patch up. A bulk of these horses will then end up in feedlots because they really are finished. Their bodies and minds are broken and they have no more to give, and they are replaced by a younger horse that is newly finished. If you're looking to dance with your horses, most people dream of, then a finished horse isn't truly what you want. These horses are robots. They have no voice in the dance. It feels good to you, but to them, in most cases, they feel best when the dance is over. Okay, Elizabeth, what is the alternative, you ask? The first alternative is to make riding the secondary goal. No, don't get me wrong, I love riding, but I hate going on trail rides on dude strings because there's no connection between me and that horse that I'm riding. I hate riding Grand Prix school horses that know the tricks, but only know me as Human Dominator 871. What if riding happens after, and sometimes during, at least a year of patient relationship building on the ground where trust was established between you and the horse? What if in this time of relationship building, boundary setting, and listening, you got on only when the horse was calm and still at the mounting block and willing to invite us on? When horses learn how to want to do things with us instead of for us, then the possibility for them to do more advanced maneuvers becomes available, so long as it remains co-creative. Their response to our suggestions becomes willing because they love us and trust us and our ideas, and we haven't fractured that trust yet. But even then, when they tell us something, I want to stop cantering now, for example, we listen because the horse isn't finished. We don't get to the end of the partnership building, ever. Now, back to the reality for most people. How then does an inexperienced rider or aspiring horse owner find the right horse that is safe for them? I am actually a big believer in not putting green people on green horses. Just to put that out there, there's some nuance to the following recommendation. Ideally, they find a horse that, while imperfect in its current abilities, is relaxed under saddle on a loose rein. You agree? Has brightness and curiosity in their eyes, has a healthy body, and is being sold by someone who isn't looking to make a huge profit. Profiting off horses is something for another post altogether, so I won't even open that can of worms here. A person must feel safe with the horse, and that should be the number one criteria. Fancy abilities, moves, or robotic skill sets shouldn't factor into the equation. What creates a feeling of safety for me when recommending horses for novice riders is that a horse is open to our questions and interested in our ideas while remaining relaxed and expressive. From there, find yourself a horse first trainer. I know many of them that will support you in a long, slow process of two-way communication with the horse. Invest as much money as humanly possible into that person, into a regular body worker, a veterinarian, an equine dentist, a hoof care professional, and boarding facility with species appropriate management. Now, if you fall in love with a finished horse and are interested in a journey of true and honest connection where the horse is allowed to tell you how it feels, be ready for that finished horse to unravel. When the expectations of that horse is changed from always being told what to do to being asked what they think, they will be very confused at first. They haven't been prepared for a life of co-creation communication. Prepare yourself for an even longer and slower journey than that of an unfinished horse. You may run into with this horse loads of behavioral problems that never existed before. They may tell you that they hate everything that you were asking them about once they finally learn that they have a voice. Their bodies may fall apart because they have been used to holding patterns of tension, and breaking out of these patterns will cause them to relearn how to carry themselves. But if you're committed to saving a finished horse, please, please, please do so. You may save a horse from a very unfortunate end. It is worth repeating that it may just take years of unpacking, patience, and money. And this is why we need to eradicate the idea of finishing horses from the equine industry. This concept is unsustainable for horses. It's led to way too many horses in feedlots and way too many horses that have just been thrown away because they serve no purpose anymore. I believe it starts first with horse owners. If we can create a culture of horse lovers who understand the value of horses beyond being trained well for riding, then the horses have a chance. Horse owners are the people who've actually created the demand for finished horses. Horse owners have for too long believed in the glorified myth of a horse that is a weekend hobby or should be comfortable transportation. And yes, I have heard a trainer describe them as this before. Can you, horse owner, find value in the journey of training a horse? Can you, horse owner, find value in learning what your horse does or doesn't like? Can you honor those dislikes and find joy in finding kinder ways of talking to your horse about them? Can you, horse owner, search for a trainer that doesn't finish a horse for you but guides you in troubleshooting and listening to your horse as you work towards your goals? Can you, horse owner, commit to a slow process so your development as a rider doesn't disrupt the health of your horse or cause them emotional or physical pain? Can you, horse owner, prioritize your horse's holistic well-being as you would a dog or a child? Can you, horse owner, recognize that the horse is no longer here for us? I mean, let's be honest, none of us in the Western world, in the developed world, need a horse to plow our fields anymore. The horse deserves to have his or her own rich life, and we can choose to enrich it on our way to our goals or use the horse for our own pleasure or thrills. So the choice is yours, but it is important to understand the truth of what you are getting into when you choose a finished horse. How'd I do, boys? Those are my thoughts. I hope you all didn't mind the curated version of these thoughts. I just had so many words that I wanted to include and didn't want to miss. So please let me know how this impacts you in the comments. I look forward to connecting with you and how we can help improve horses' lives. Thank you. Namaste.